What up, though? Are you a creator? What up? Shout out to Phyllis. Phyllis's channel put me on to Are You a Creator? Next on American Greed. Love American Greed. Are you a creator? Answer yes. I am a creator. I wrote a book with Sorrow King. One person has wrote it, or read it. But that's okay, because I got to redo it and edit it. I got to do some stuff to it. I'm going to take it. Yeah. It's on Amazon now. It's also on lulu.com. I'm going to make it an audio book. I want people to download it. I also cut my own hair. Pretty sweetness, isn't it? It's hard to cut your hair from the back. But I do it. Oh, this here? This is a mushroom. This particular mushroom comes from Kroger's. It is a Kroger mushroom. Yes, it is. Actually, Kroger just brought off a letter. And a letter in Kroger said that they're being taken over by, I think they're being bought out. Our Kroger's is being bought out. And I was like, who's buying Kroger's? What up? What up, dog? Dog, what up? What up with you, man? How your day doing, Kev? How your day? Mr. Burkett. Is that how you say your name? Burkett. Sound like a lawyer's name. Kevin Burkett at your service. Yeah. No, I don't watch them. I don't watch the games, Lord Burkett. Kevin Burkett at your service. Attorney at law. I'll be taking your case, sir. I'll be $500 an hour. We like to have $5,000 up front just to secure your, all lawyers talk with that monotone. My voice can't go no octave higher than this because this means I mean business. Pay me. Yeah, man. No, I didn't see it, Brother Burkett. However, I know that it was a bunch of hoo-ha and ha-hooey. And they won. Cleveland won. I think they're going to lose the next game, though. They won an OT, though. Me too. I just got back up because I was up earlier today. On the first and the second, I go and pay my rent. Sometimes I wait till the morning of the second and then go pay the rent. Usually I'm up about 5. Usually I wake up about 5 anyway. You know, read my emails and stuff and look on the internet, read a bunch of discussions and stuff, and watch track and field so I can look at the college babes. Yeah. And then about maybe 8 or 9, I'll go back to sleep and wake up about 10 or 11, twiddle around, go out and do stuff, come back, take a nap, and get up and do homework until like 11 at night. That's usually what it is. Twiddling. Sometimes hit the gym. Gym has been hurting my back lately, though. That's because I was in there trying to compete with somebody 20 years younger than me. Dude outweighed me by what? He probably outweighed me by, nah, he was probably my same weight. He was a big boy, though. I just don't want to believe that I'm old. You can't tell me I'm 51 and have me believe that. I still think I'm 30-something. I think the only problem with me is I got ailments. How old are you, big dog? Shoot. Just can't tell me I'm young. Shoot, I got terrible knees and a terrible back. My hamburger. I can still throw a mean right. I can still put up 315. Yeah. When I was eating meat, I was putting up 335, 340. Ugh! I mess around with them 60s when I get in the gym. I'll be warming up with the 40s and 50s. Grab the 60s. Ugh! Work my way up to the 80s. Yeah. Snatching them 80s up, and that's what got me. I saw them 80-pound dumbbells. I was like, oh, what up? What you do? What up? What you? What up, 85? I snatched them 80. Like, get it. Oh, 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 oh. The 80s was light on the incline bench. I was like, let's go. Let's go, 80s. I was looking at them. I was eyeballing them hundreds, and then it hit me. The whole spine just lit up. Like, you pick up them hundreds, you're going to need a stretcher to get up out of here. And that's when I just said, okay. I wanted to pick them damn 100-pound dumbbells up so bad. Hoist them bad boys on the bench. Yeah. Good. Couldn't do it. I got the warning. Anywho, so everybody's doing all right? Anything new? When's the next game? I don't want to talk about the game. When that game is? When that game going? Everybody left? Okay, well. Everybody left? Stranded at the drive-in. Branded a fool. What will they say Monday at school? Sandy, baby, I'm in love with you. That's how I should have sang it. I sit and wonder why you left me. Oh, Sandy. John Travolta. That's how I should have sang that. We go together like booshy, big bang, bang. Blang, blang, bang. You know, there's some movies that I don't think a black man should ever be in, and Grease is one of them. Grease is the whitest movie, but I love it. I love Grease's whiteness. Because that's what they did. They raced for pinks. Oh, black people do that too, but nonetheless, it's a whole culture. We had our 60s culture. We were swinging in the 40s and stuff. We have music. But it's good to see a whole nother culture without some type of, culture vulturism. Tom Cruise shouldn't have done The Last Samurai. Should have been some Asian dude who's the star, not some white dude running around with stringy hair. Matt Damon doesn't need to do should have been in Great Wall of China. Matt Damon. Well, Matt Damon is good in The Supremacy, playing the secret agent dude. I can digest that. I even liked him in Shrinkage. He was a corny white dude. That's what Matt Damon is to me, a corny white dude. I don't belong in a corny white dude movie. Not unless I'm playing the offset black guy, but funny. Well, I don't do that. Bang, 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 boom, ding, bam, bam, boom. Whoa, 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 double bip. We'll always be together. Be together. We'll always be together. Something like that. I love that movie. Good movie-age. It's good movie-age. We'll always. Clang, 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 clang. We bang, bum, doom, bang, bang. Ooh, West Side Story. When Tony died, it was disappointing. West Side Story when Tony died. Grace. You better wake up, cause she needs a man. And her heart is set on you. You better wake up. That's if a man had to sing Olivia Newton-John's part. Cause she needs, but why she have to dress like a slut to sing that song? Now you gotta show off your tail. Ba-ba-beep, ba-ba-da-boo. You're the one she wants. Hip-up-the-beep-ba. Boop, boop, boop. You're the one she wants. Live-a-doop-a-da-beep-ba. Boop, boop, boop. You're what she needs. Oh, yes, indeed. Ow. Should have had an extra break in there. Boom, 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 bam, bang, bing, boom. I got you. You're multiplying, yeah. And I'm in control. And the power that's your supplying. You better wake up, cause she needs a man, and her heart is set on you. I'm sorry, there was nobody here 5 seconds ago. I'm bugging. I'm just saying Grease was a great white movie. Musicals. Guys ever seen Rent, the musical? Good musical. Ever seen Fiddler on the Roof? How about Taming of the Shrew? That wasn't a musical. The Witch, the Lion, and the Wardrobe. The Witch, the Lion, and the Wardrobe, man. When I was a kid, I did not know The Witch, the Lion, and the Wardrobe was a Christian. I didn't know. I just thought it was a witch, a lion, and a freaking wardrobe. I was fascinated by the Witch, the Lion, and Wardrobe. Loved it. What up, Phyllis? Phyllis, oh, Phyllis, my love. Phyllis. Phyllis is a great musical name. Phyllis, is that you, Phyllis? Come hither, Phyllis, let me see your face. Is this a good musical name? It just flows right off the, oh, Phyllis. You could even be the villain. It was Phyllis, bum, bum, bum. I don't know. But when they see you, it's like, she couldn't be the bad person. And I drive by, see my brother. I'm just messing around on here because I don't want to do my homework. But it's finals week and I got to do it. But you know, I know there's not room. I know you just stopping by. I heard what you were saying in your live. You know, you'll go by, you won't stay too long because you got stuff to do, and then you'll hit the like, boom. I appreciate that. I appreciate that 100%. I would have been chatting it up if nobody came. I would have been like, yeah. You know, because I don't got one of them, what do you call them, spouses? I ain't got one of them running around here. All my neighbors that I used to be cool with are gone, pretty much. It's just me. You know? I don't have any family that lives in this city. None. All my family lives miles away. You get it that with. I know how to find those. Hey, you have a degree? What you got a degree in, Phyllis? I heard you say your great grandkids or something like that, or great nieces, or somebody's graduating. Congratulations to them. I did hear that. There's some graduating going on. I got 2 classes and I graduate. I have to retake statistics. Oh, okay, yeah, there you go. Phyllis on the ball. What do you do with that? Working in somebody's office? Going to lunch when they tell you to? Phyllis, it's time for you to go to lunch. It's 1 o'clock. Be back by 2. Not a minute later, Phyllis. To heck with that. What somebody will roll up on me. Oh, you're a social worker. That means you don't got no particular hours to be back from lunch. You just be like, I'm going to get one of these little brats away from their mom because she's a crack addict, and I'll be back tomorrow. I got to write up a whole dossier on one little 8-year-old who doesn't know how to act. So, yeah, you guys won't see me for a while. Yeah. I don't think I'll be back today, but tell supervisor I said, what up, though? I used to work for Human Services. I was a temporary. I was the operator. Hello, they took my child away from me. And I'll be like, calm down, lady. Like, I'm not a caseworker. Who would you like to speak to? Is Miss Margaret there? That's my caseworker. Transfer. Beep. Phone ring 2 seconds later. She didn't answer. And then they told my kid. And I'm like, lady, I'm not Miss Margaret. I don't know how to. Well, can I have somebody else, supervisor? Beep. 2 minutes later, phone ringing. Next thing you know, all my lines are lit up. I seriously was the operator for both floors. The only light that was, the only thing, well, there was a couple things good about that job. One, it was right down the street from where I lived. I mean, I walked to work. 2, it was flooded with women. And that's when I was like 30. Oh, boy. It was, I mean, I was truly the rooster in the chicken house. This kind of work. Can I have no right? Yeah, it is. I worked for them about a month. Never again. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. Yeah, man, I was the rooster in the, man. When I got there, you know, it was just an immediate reaction to like, oh, wow, I'm okay. You guys put me in here? You sure you want me to work here? It was on. Didn't take no time before they knew that I was a single black man. It was, even the ones who had boyfriends, they just was, it was after me. Oh, man. they were just on me. It just got to the point where I was dating multiples and they knew. I didn't care. I was just like, that's on you. There was one particular girl that I wanted, and I finally got her, and it was like a huge mistake when it was all over. But she was hot. Yeah. That's a long time ago. Back in 09 or something like that. Before that, 06. I don't know. So, you don't work. Well, I appreciate it. I try to dress, I try to be a professional, go to work, but it was, woo. Let's just say that there was very little competition from the guys who worked there. And it was just pretty much all you had to do was say hello. And you were going to get someone's attention. And eventually, they're going to break, even if they had someone. You stay on them enough. Because you know what I found out? Girls who have a lot of attention, but girls who have side dudes get a whole bunch of attention. And I was the side dude, but didn't even know I was the side dude. I was just a dude. You know what I mean? And a lot of these girls had guys, but they would just come at me because one, I didn't live too far. Two, I was just the side dude, and I was super athletic, running around all the time. So that kind of helped. But James Cox is doing a live stream also. Did you meet any new supporters? One of your supporters hit me up the other day. Or a live stream today, but not today. I didn't really meet any today. When I saw your notice that you were live, I was just waking up because I woke up real early today, went out, did some stuff, came home and was sleepy, and just noticed you're live. And I was like, Phyllis always supports, so let me hit her up and support her, and that's what I did. So I didn't really look at. Except one of the guys in there is one of my supporters actually, Gorilla Tech. He was on your live, and so yeah, I wasn't really trying to read too many of the comments. And then I put your phone. It's going to be in healthcare, it's going to be health administration. So healthcare administration, the first level. Because administrators, they come from mostly nursing, doctors. Those guys are usually the administrators. I'm not trying to be an administrator. If I enter back into the workforce, I'm going to have an online business. I was looking at fraud investigation, doing some contract work for the government, getting some of them big contracts. I was looking at this video, this woman who lives in Atlanta, and she wasn't doing what I was doing, but she was a subcontractor for the government. Yeah, I don't want that headache. I know people who work in the healthcare field. I'm not doing it. And the offers, oh, sweet Christmas. My level is 50 G's and up. Starting. And then it depends on where you go. I mean, it just, don't fool around and get a master's degree. You'll be looking at 100 and some odd easily. Real quick. In healthcare management, real quick. You'll be looking at 100 G's. Easy. But you'll be looking at a very stressful job. A lot of turnover. And the higher you go up, the more likely it is that you're going to come down hard. Yeah. Yeah, but I see they just changed it from ICD-9 to ICD-10 coding. So, yeah, I won't be doing any hit puts anytime soon. Those medical billers are on a whole nother level. Now, there are some men and some women, mostly women, but medical billers are special people. I don't mean that in special as in bad. I mean special as in very, very good. Yeah. Yeah, you can't use the ICD-10 anymore. You could probably reference some ICD-10s, but you know why they did the the ICD-9s? You know why they did the ICD-10s? The same reason why they did the ICD-9, because there's more billing out there. And then the billings are separate. So let's ear infection, right? There's a number for that. You have another ear infection. There's usually one number that covers 2 ear infections. But when let's just say that both ears have something different with them. So you have an ear infection that has, let's just say that your trochlea. Okay, so the ear, when they say the eardrum, the ear literally is a drum. It's a thin piece of skin that allows you, is in the ear canal. There's a drum. It's a small little drum, and I forgot what it's called. Then inside of that, there's 3 bones: the malleus, the incus, and the stapes. And they're hooked up, or those bones are hooked up right inside of the ear. And whenever that the skin hears a vibration, it hits the drum, and it's just like a little drum thing. And this one of the bones move, and they're moving at a high frequency. That bone's connected to the other 2 bones, sends a vibration, and it sends it through water. And there's liquid inside of your ear, and inside of the liquid within your ear are little nerves, and the little nerves are called cilia, I believe. And what happens is, like when somebody says they can't hear anymore, it's because those nerves are damaged, and so they can't hear. This is why they get hearing aids on the back of the ear to help the sound of the vibration, so they're hearing. Yeah. Nonetheless, there's other things that you can do for hearing, but nonetheless, so let's just say that you had 2 problems with your. Yes, that makes sense. I also LPN school and had another. Yeah. Yeah. So I love the medical field too. Love that stuff, man. Love learning about that. Love anatomy class. Matter of fact, I'm thinking about getting just a little, 2-year degree in biology because I like it so much. I like working on cadavers. But nonetheless, so let's just say there's a problem with the incus, and there's a problem in here with the malleus. That's 2 different codes. So they stop bunching the codes up together and they separate them. So every so often, like when ICD-11 comes along, it's just because they found more codes for more problems within usually the same area. And some of them call for different operations. So, if you have all kind of, like, if you're doing a back, if something's wrong with your back, a lot of times the problem with somebody's back is simply they don't get enough circulation. When people get up, they don't usually get up and stretch. They get up and stretch like this. They don't usually get up and touch their toes, get down into a hurdler stretch, and they get up, do one of these numbers, and go to work. Well, guess what? You've been laying on your back all night. So, there's not a lot of, blood flow going through there to, when you get up and you start picking up your kids, and hey, good morning, and that kid is 80 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Usually you see somebody pick up a kid and then they have a pain in their back. It's a muscle because there's not a lot going on back there. So your body is just like it's just like an automobile. When you start your car and you let it run in the winter, you want to get it warmed up. Well, your body needs to do that too. There's certain things that you need to do, but most of us just aren't taught to do that. We're just taught to just get up. Cavs, no. I don't think the Cavs going to win tomorrow. I think they're going to lose by a small margin, probably by 10. But what up though anyway, Jamie? But I think your body, if you got up and you did some touching your toes, just some simple stuff, you'd have a lot less back problems because a lot of times it's just the blood flow in your back. So just little stuff like that. But there are so many muscles in the back. From there's the deep muscles. There's so many muscles in your back. It's ridiculous. From the superficial to the deep muscles. It's so much going on back there, because, you need all that power to pick things up, But there's no one ICD-10 code for your back. You thoracic, your cervical, your lumbar, your atlas, your coxal. There's just all kind of ICD-10 codings for all of that. It's just so much going on. And the longer we go and study, and the more and more separate, you're going to have more and more coding. But I can't keep up with all those codings. If I ever did jump into the medical field, I like medical terminology 3 times and made in 8. The body is so complex, so I make a little more sense feeling differently. Yeah, the Bible says that we are fearful and wonderfully made. Yeah, fearful and wonderfully is an understatement, because to put a body together, I would have never thought of that. The way the body's put together. I would have never thought to do that. It's just the stuff that God put in the body is ridiculous. I'm going to tell you something else. I was thinking about that. I was hypothesizing about the early man. Now, the only man that we have to go by as far as being the first man, which he wasn't the first man, was Adam, correct? But Adam wasn't the first man. Adam was the first man of God. There were other people that were roaming around the earth long before Adam was here, like long time ago. But those people that were here before Adam, okay, let's put it like this. When Adam was in the garden, God created him out of the Fertile Crescent, out of the ground, so he was a black man. When he created Adam, he didn't tell Adam to go and eat. All the fish, all of the lions, all the tigers, bears, and everything, Adam knew all of them. He could speak to them. He understood them. He didn't hunt the animals. Neither did Eve when she was created. Eve didn't come up and be like, chicken tonight, baby, what's up? She ain't do none of that. This leads me to believe that Adam and Eve did not consume. But how did they live? And then when I think about it, I'm like, well, wait a minute. If Adam and Eve didn't eat, what did everybody else who's been there millions of years before Adam and Eve eat? God didn't say go out and hunt these creatures. But nonetheless, when Adam and Eve, they didn't eat meat before they were disobedient. And then when they were disobedient, they started eating meat. But it just made me think. If a person can't go without food. Now, there are some records of people who've gone without food. There's a guy in India who just doesn't eat. He said some spiritual entity feeds him. You know, he doesn't eat and he doesn't drink and he doesn't defecate. Doesn't use the bathroom at all. And they didn't believe him, so they watched him for like days. And he didn't eat or drink. You know, and he's been like that for years. There's another man who doesn't sleep at all. I think he's in Asia somewhere. But there's also a young lady who, when I say young, I think she's like 12. She got hit by a car. She was like 8 or 9, right? The car dragged her for 3 miles. 3 miles. When the car finally realized, what kind of body does he have? The guy who doesn't eat, he's just a thin guy, but he's not emaciated. He's just thin. Looks like a long distance runner. You know, he doesn't have a problem moving around or nothing. He gets up and does whatever. I was just like, okay, that's dope. He never eats. And then there's this girl that got hit by the car. She got dragged for 3 miles until they realized she was there. And when she got up, she didn't have any marks on her. Like none. She was just... And they found out that her skin is super tough. And she's strong. Like really strong. Like a ridiculously strong person. This little girl. And she eats once every 3 days. I think there's something to eating that is actually hindering us. But nonetheless, there is starvation. So what I was thinking is the more spiritual you get, the less you need to eat. Now, case in point, there's some people who go on fast. I've been on a fast before. And when I started the fast, it was just like, I'm going to go for a couple of days. You know, next thing you know, I was like moving around okay. I was fine. And I was like, okay, I'm good. I think I'll go longer. Next thing you know, I was up to 2.5, 3 weeks. I think I ate a Snickers bar. And I wasn't really hungry until I ate the Snickers bar. I was like, wow, now this happened when I was like 19 or 18. I was like, wow, I believe we can go 3 days without food. Most of us, no, I've gone longer. I know people who've gone a lot longer than that. And they weren't weak. There was nothing wrong with them. I've done it before. But I think that a man can permanently go without food. Now, the Bible does tell you to eat. You know, it's telling, you know, when you look in the Bible, you know, even Jesus, when he came back from his resurrection, he was like, do you guys have any food? And they gave him boiled fish. But nonetheless, I still think a man can return back to what Adam was. And be just as strong, fast, and everything. I think the food is actually hurting us. And it's one reason why I stopped eating certain foods. Now, you see what I'm eating now. You know what that is? I'm going to tell you what it is. Potatoes, onions, and green peppers. I eat that combination a whole lot. Yep. I've gone a couple weeks without food. But I know I can go longer. Now, I haven't fasted in a long time. Like I said, your spirit has to be right to do such a thing. Can't be all messed up. But the more spiritual you are, the more connected to God, the more you're seeking God. And, you know, I understood what that man from India was talking about. There's a spiritual entity that feeds him. He doesn't, and I'm betting 10 to 1 that this guy doesn't go around sleeping with a bunch of women, and I'm betting he doesn't rebel rouse or nothing like that. He probably lives a regular, plain old life. He just doesn't need to eat the food. But if he stopped living that way and start getting into corruptive activity and his spirit starts getting corruptive, I'm betting 10 to 1 that he'll be hungry every day. And he'll need to eat 3 times a day. Now, I've heard that the food that we eat has a direct effect on the hypothalamus. Hypothalamus, the little that controls the heat of your body and, things along that line. It also controls the, no, it doesn't control height and stuff like that. That's the pituitary gland, I believe. But nonetheless, the hypothalamus controls the heat of your body. And somebody said some of the food that we eat is stopping the body from, whoever that is stopping the body from performing in a certain way, using more performance. In other words, the food that we're eating is slowing us down. Now, when I looked at that, I thought about that, and I was just like, okay. And then I thought about Usain Bolt. Now, everybody's like, all these runners are using drugs. Yada, 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 Usain Bolt's using drugs, this, that, the third. But I'm like, okay, if the playing field is even and all of the runners are using drugs, but Usain Bolt runs a time of 9:58, and he beats the second fastest man in history who ran in the same race a 9:71. He beats that guy by like 3 strides. He beat Tyson Gay 3 strides in the same race. They ran record-breaking times. As a matter of fact, Tyson Gay ran faster only once. He ran a 9:69. Okay, so he's running at top speed. 3 strides, he's off. Usain Bolt beats him. Now, you think about that. Usain Bolt, they said, why are you so fast? He said, because of what I eat. They was like, what do you eat? He said, my mother feeds me yams. I am trying to get off sugar. It has been about 9 days, and it's better each day. The first 3 days were awful. Yeah, you're addicted. You have an addiction. But it's strange. I have been praying. And yeah, you have an addiction. This is my addiction. This and watching college girls run around the track. This is my addiction. And the college girls. I do them both at once. I be like, ooh, that girl running 100. Have mercy. Boy, that show is good. Go cheese. Yeah. But nonetheless, so I understand. Because every now and then I'll just get a whole case of that and I will down the whole doggone thing. And I know I shouldn't. I know it's going to give you an extra spare tire, but I don't care. It's so good. It's so good. I ain't got nobody here to replace. But if I ever want to get my 6-pack back again, which I'm probably not, then I got to stop drinking that. You are an addict. Yeah, you're an addict. You're a sugar addict. But so am I. So is the majority of the world. Sugar is actually brown. Sugar cane comes out brown. It's not white. This is one reason why it's bad for you. Bad for all of us. See how much sugar is in here. I'm sure it's going to be an astronomical amount. And I suck this stuff down like a newborn babe in some milk. High fructose, which is sugar, corn syrup, citric acid. Okay, I'm going to stop drinking this stuff. Sodium, benzoate. I don't even know what that stuff does. It's a preservative. Natural flavors. Caramel, it has a coloring in it. Canned by an affiliate, but yeah, I'm going to stop. Yep. So it's a syrup that's in it. 35 grams of sugar. But I've been drinking this stuff all my life. I've been drinking this stuff. Every time I get sick, I drink this stuff. And then I just start drinking it just to drink it. My mom used to literally eat starch. There used to be starch. It probably still comes in a white box. My mom would be like, go to the store and get me some starch. It'd be like 10 cents a box. I said, be like, Mom, why do you eat that stuff? It's good. Then I started eating it. And then I wanted more. And I stopped eating it. My mom used to eat it all the time. Terrible. My mom died of cancer. Yeah, it's children. Yeah, my mom died of cancer. 56 years old. Gone. She smoked like a doggone chimney. She died of pancreatic cancer. Took her out in 6 months. Yeah, the stuff we eat. You know? In there, though. I'll be getting my water in there. You know, I'll be drinking this stuff out of the case. I got the big old jugs. Sometimes I'll just be sitting here with an old jug of water like it ain't nothing. Yeah, starch came in a white box. Salt is terrible for you. Starch is terrible for you. Sugar is terrible for you. Corn syrup is terrible for you. I know this stuff is terrible. I'm going to drink every can I have downstairs, but then I go on this hiatus for like months. Wait, what? Wait, what? My sister ate so much starch while she was pregnant, and then her little girl was born. She had white sugar in her vagina. So, that's a joke, right? Her little... It's hard for me to think about a baby's vagina. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just hard for me to register such a thing. But being, born, they have to check out all the babies. So I totally get that. It's just something that, But it's just something that's hard for me to imagine. I'm a guy, sorry. But wow. Wow. Are you serious? Had white sugar in. Are you serious? Wow. So is her little girl okay now? Like, is her reproductive system? Wow. That is crazy. I mean, is she okay now? Is she able to have kids and stuff? Oh, okay. Well, sugar must have did something good after all. 4 children. Shoot, I was born with sugar between my... Oh, girl, come here. She got 4. Hey, shoot, 4 kids, she doing all right. At least she wasn't deformed. I thought she was going to be like, oh, there's no doubt. That's why it pisses me off seeing people smoking when they're pregnant. I just be wanting to slap the crap out of the mother. I literally just want to go up and punch the mother right in the face. Like, literally. Because I know that baby don't stand a chance. He or she is going to be messed up. I'll be wanting to knock. I'm pregnant. I'll be like, I really just want to knock him upside the head, but that'll cause even more problems. I guess it'd be best to just go up and ask them, do they need some help? You need some help. What up, Jay Edwards? In the hazy. Oh, sheezy. Shoot. Just talking about different stuff. Taking the exam. How you been? Oh, man, I'm all right. Young Jay, did you do good? See, I just dropped out of one class. I couldn't take it anymore. Statistics. And Phyllis, I know you're like a whiz at statistics, but some of us just ain't, okay? And I was doing statistics. I can't even say it. 1,400, not statistics. 350 and below. All right, then. A social worker, I have seen some stuff. I can imagine you have. I used to work with social workers. I almost married one. I dated some social workers. They tell me some wild stuff. They tell me some wild stuff kids be doing. I'll be like, wait, what? Kids do that? I'm like, shoot. Yeah, you need a study team. I had one guy. He was cool. It was okay. I still won't. Oh, okay. We was just talking about studying medicine because Phyllis works in the, she worked as a social worker. My degree will be in health administration if I can pass statistics. And we both like the medical field. We both like anatomy. But I don't want to work on nobody's anatomy. I don't want to be a foot doctor or anything like that. Fix my toe. My toe got a toe thing on it. You see my toe? How you gonna fix it? Doctor, fix my toe. If I won't eat my toe, doctor, you see my toe? Oh, my dude, my big toe ain't big no more. Like, heck no, I ain't fixing your toe. I'll put a little sodium on that and dry it out. I ain't fixing nobody's toe. Or a proctologist or a vag doctor. Although birthing babies would be cool. But I couldn't see being a vag doctor. You just see everybody's vag every day. Just vag. I'm like, I don't feel like looking at vag today. Yeah. Now, a heart doctor, that's interesting. The trachea? Trachea? Now, I could probably be, if I was going to be a doctor, I would either concentrate on the brain or I would be like a joint doctor. If I was going to get into, being a doctor, I'd be like, what do I want to be? I'm interested in the joints because they go out so much. You know what I'm saying? Synovial joints. Joints go out just all the time. This is my problem. I have joint problems, because of some type of itis, arthritis. I got some of that. I got scars up under my knees, so it's hard to walk sometimes. It just hurts, and I can't run anymore. It's because my patella is moving back and forth like this. Produce should make a lot of money. What's a proto? Tomorrow's Thursday. Yippee-ki-yay, tomorrow's Thursday. Proctologist, yeah. They make a lot of money because, there's so many people who are sticking things up their butt that they, and, you got people putting live rats up in there. It's just like, what do you, and they're guys that are doing it. Like, why is there a gerbil in your asshole? Can You might want to get the banana out of your cut that out because you're gonna have some serious issues if you don't. And then they have serious issues. They're laid up on the dime doctors, with the butt in the air. That's not a good thing. Yeah. Good old Grady. I think my sister worked at Grady. In fact, I know she did. My sister still lives down there. 2 of my sisters still live there. But yeah, proctology, man. Everybody's got problems with the plumbing. What's interesting to me is, like, if I'm supposed to go have the guy come in because one had got up in there and got stuck. Yeah, that's what happens. They get up in there and get stuck. And they're alive. It's like you're sticking these live things in your behind. It's like, this is not a good deal. You know what I'm saying? I think it's interesting that some people swallow live fish and the fish is still living in their chest. One guy even had a plant growing in his chest. That's interesting. Another guy ate some raspberries. And make it so bad, they were physicians of some type. They were x-ray techs. They went to this gathering for all x-ray techs, and the dessert had raspberries in it. Well, they all ate the raspberry dessert. And then they dispersed. They were from all over the country, worked for the same medical, HMO or whatever it was. Yeah, and next thing you know, all of them started complaining, but they were so far and wide, they didn't know each other was complaining about the same thing. Until they were like, okay, let's find out where, ground zero is for these complaints. Well, you know what the complaint was? There were parasites growing in their body. Next thing you know, this one guy, he said there were worms coming out of his anus. He was pulling them out. Worms that grew from the parasite in the strawberries. They were eating what he was eating. Yeah, every time he ate, they were eating. And they were eating his food like a tapeworm. And then they multiplied in his body. And he was pulling them out of his body. He was just like, something's not right here. And he went to sit it on down, and worms came out of his body. And he was like, this is a problem. So they were like, well, what happened? And they tried to diagnose where it came from. He's like, I have, general medicine. I will specialize after. Oh, okay. You're going to be a doctor or something. And so they were trying to figure out what happened. And then, once they figured out what ground zero was, because other people in his profession were all complaining about the same thing. All came back to this hotel, and it was like, it was in the strawberries. It wasn't the strawberry, it was in the raspberries. But the people, see, now, about 6 feet long in his stomach. It was curled up in his intestine. And that doggone thing was eating what he was eating. But here's the thing. If he would have stopped eating, guess what it would have ate? Him. And there was a whole gang of them. Wasn't just one big worm in there. Oh my God, please don't tell me I have worms. But there's a whole gang in his body. This thing was huge. The doggone worm was bigger than he was. That thing just kept crawling out of his ass. And he was just like, what? Then he found out that there was more in there. It's just like, this is not good. And like so they went in there and they got all the worms out of them. They flushed them all out. Everybody else, they flushed them all out. Then they found out that it's a normal, parasitic worm that will grow to an immense, and then they said it's a parasitic worm. It will grow into an immense size if you leave it alone and just let it eat. You just let it keep eating, it would eventually just eat you and just eat right out of your body and just keep going. You know, because dogs have these problems too. Ask Jay what? Ask Jay what? Yeah, parasitic worms, no joke. Because they have no problem taking you out of this planet. You are, everybody thinks they're high on the food chain. No, you're not. You eat some things, it'll start eating you, trust. I learned this in nursing school. He answered me about the worms. Yeah. Yeah, you eat some things, it'll start eating you. Okay, just look at it like this. The bald eagle is the highest predator in his, in his chain. You know how the bald eagle usually dies? It's not from another predator. They die because they eat the parasites in some of the small rats and things that they eat. Well, those rats and things eat the little stuff on the ground, little berries and whatnot. Well, when they do, there's parasites in their body. Then the eagle comes and eats something that's eating the rat. The parasite is still in the body or whatever, ate the rat. And or the eagle will just eat the rat. Or the mouse or the field mice or the shrew or whatever it eats. And next thing you know, the doggone thing is getting eaten alive by a million worms. And it just dies right there and then because it's got eaten from the inside out. The pinworm. Wow. And kids, sweet Christmas. Man, I need to look up the pinworm. Oh, there's a YouTube video about it. There it is right there. Oh, they got home remedies to get rid of it. 2 ways to get rid of pinworms. Eat fast and natural. See if they show. Of course, there's antibiotics to get rid of most of this stuff. And keeping yourself clean is a huge keeping your toilet seat clean. That's usually how they get it. Causes of pinworms infection is consuming unsanitary food. Hence, one of the most home remedies for pinworms list to maintain a proper unsanitary. However, the condition spread easily and fast, particularly among children. And one of your little ones, even yourself, contract this disease, you will be able to find here is no less than 15 effective home remedies. Okay. Tell you what, if you don't get rid of them, it's going to be over. Probiotics. Garlic. Why does garlic kill so many things? Garlic will kill anything. It's a big old dinosaur. Get some garlic. Throw garlic at the... It's weird. Yeah, I never even heard of pinworm, so this is new to me. Oh, okay. Okay. You have to take some. Yeah, that wasn't a problem that we had, so I never even heard of it. Ringworm is a whole nother story. To get you right now today. Ringworm will get you quick. The cold, the common cold, the flu, those things got us. There were so many of us in a small place, and the cold would just jump from one person to another. It was easy for the cold to get to us. It'd be 3 or 4 of us sick as a dog, and we'd all recover at the same time. One time the flu got me so bad, my mom thought, she didn't want to take me to the hospital, but she was so worried about me. It happened to me twice. And one time it got to me to a point where, my mom she had Vicks. Yeah, I ain't hear about it. Mom would take Vicks, put it on my chest. As a teenager, it was like maybe 13 or something like that. She just knew I came in, and she just looked at me one day and she was just like, "You're sick." But I was really sick. I was like, because she's so used to us going out and playing and running and stuff like that, but she just knew. She was like, "Oh, I know you are sick." It just had me so ill that she had to come in and sit with me for like a long time and watch me and listen to me breathe because I have asthma. So she was like really, really, really paying attention to me. She'd cover me up, have all these covers on me. She wouldn't let me go outside, wouldn't let me go to school, nothing. Gave me soup and stuff like that. I can remember looking up at her thinking I was getting ready to leave this planet. Yeah. Yeah, but I remember those days I remember very vividly. I remember where I was at and everything because I was sick as a dog, man. And in a few days after I recovered, my appetite came back. I started eating right and everything. I mean, it had me good. That happened to me twice when I was a kid. One time I went out running. I just went outside and I just started running my head off like a damn idiot. Came home, had an asthma attack, put my ass right in the hospital. She wasn't playing then. She looked at me, she was just like, "Oh yeah, we're leaving." Man, I was in the hospital for days. I was hit, didn't warm up, just went out and just, I was a long distance runner. That's a lot of my frustration I took out on the road. It was the one place I felt free. Are you watching the news? Kanye West is saying that slavery was a social choice. Yeah, I saw it the other day. I did a video about it. Kanye West is losing his fan base. He's also lost his mind, and I still don't think he has it back. Kanye West siding with a president who called a whole nation of black people a crap hole is not very smart. The Haitians are our brothers. The Haitians are our brothers. You don't talk to, I have Haitians that live right there. They never did me no wrong. He called their whole country a crap hole. The whole country. Not one person that did him something wrong or said something about him. Everyone that lives in that country is a piece of crap. I can't with him. I can't. Right? I can't. They make an excuse for everything he does. Obama killed a fly, and it was on the news that Obama smashed a fly. This president is grabbing chicks by the coochie. He's cheating on his wife. His wife doesn't even want to hold his hand. She doesn't even want to be near this man. Okay? This man is cheating on him with prostitutes, with porn stars. Stormy Daniels is a porn star. The president slept with a porn star while he was married. You think, this Trump chick is sitting up there like, yeah, this is my husband. She's like, goofy bastard. Like, you didn't think I'd know? You know what I'm saying? You've always been famous. Always. You didn't think this goofy chick was going to tell that you were stooping her while you were married to me? Dumbass. Nah, this dude is the worst. But, crazy white people want to give him a pass. That's crazy white people. There's some white people like crazy. He's bad enough. Yeah, well, I think all presidents did some good for the country. Doesn't mean I give this guy a pass because he's an asshole. He doesn't like black people. Now, people are going to say, jobs are at the highest they ever been. Yakety yak. Bill Clinton had jobs at the highest that they ever been during that time. And you know what? Bill Clinton also had the 3 strikes rule where he was putting black people in prison forever. There are people serving life sentences because of Bill Clinton. No, there's always a caveat. Trust. There's always a catch somewhere. They all do some good. Bill had us working, but Bill, prison, who will never, ever see daylight. Ever come home to their family. They're watching their children grow up behind a glass. I'm good. And he left. I think Kanye. Oh, he's still there. Yeah, he is, unfortunately. But he's not going to win. It has nothing to do with him winning. If you're still here, Edwards. Our people are doing and saying everything to say relative. Oh, he'll win. Has nothing to do with him winning, though. Trump is not going to win. He never won anything. Let's be clear. He's chosen. You mean Trump will be chosen again for the second term? That is very true. No matter who he runs against. Heck no. Yeah. He didn't win a damn thing. He lost in the he lost. Listen. He lost by a 2 million person popular vote. I highly doubt it. By a 2 million popular vote. Yeah, he cheated. 2 million people said, nah, we'd rather have Hillary. She a crook too. Yeah, Trump. Listen, there's some black people who like Trump. There's some black people who hate Obama. It is what it is. Yeah, he was a crook. Reagan was a crook. Reagan was the biggest drug dealer on the planet. Bill Clinton was putting people in jail on purpose. The Bush administration was killing people. He was killing people in our own country, and he was killing people abroad. Both of them sold you a fake war. They knocked down the walls in Louisiana to let all those people drown. The president back in 1948 knew that the H bombs that they had, the nuclear bombs that they had, will kill thousands and thousands of people. So they wanted a test run. They didn't want to do it on us, so they created a war, and Japan was the enemy. So they dropped it on Hiroshima and Nagasaki just to see what it would do. They all crooks. Yeah. Yeah, see you later, man. Take it easy. Good luck on your exam. They all crooks. Can't tell me they ain't crooks. All them presidents is crooks. Obama never killed. Obama never killed. The Al Qaeda dude. Never killed him. The leader of Al Qaeda. Since when do we kill somebody and put their ashes in the ocean? When do we do this? When does this ever happen? Where we as Americans don't brag about the person we just killed. Bin Laden. Oh, we not going to brag. We brag about everything. The more death we deal out, the more we brag about it. And you mean you're going to kill the one person who killed 3,000 people in one hit and ordered that strike? We not going to show that we have this dude in custody and then killed him? Get out of here. Get the heck out of here. Well, this is true. We're very creative then, aren't we? Yeah, Obama lied, though. Obama also went over there to Nigeria and told them to accept gay rights. They told him to get out the country. They were like, no, get out of here. We're not going to accept that. The president just stood up and was just like, no, we will not accept gay rights over here. No. You can go spread that, go to Ghana and try that. But over here, you gay, you're going to have a problem. Yeah, they all lied. You gay over here, you start messing around with dudes, you another dude, you're going to have an issue over here. We're going to beat you up. And we're going to do it in public. And that's exactly what they do. That's exactly what they do to gay men over there. Those guys run around with things on their head and act like they get at them real quick. I see you didn't go over to the Middle East and try that. Yeah, we're going to go over here to Saudi Arabia. We're going to exercise gay rights in Saudi Arabia. Let's see how that flies. You want to start another war? Go ahead. Tell them Saudi Arabians that their women can run around in bikinis with their boobs and ass out, and men can sleep with other men, openly claiming that they're gay. You're going to see a lot of dead people. Last couple of women that tried that got their heads cut off and was left on the beach. Yeah, there's some people that just don't care about what America's doing, because America just does everything and complains about everything. See you later, sis. Yeah, they cut those women's head off. They tried a movement. They were just like, we're women. We come from America, but we were born here, and we're going to come over here, and we're going to have all the women socially free. Their heads were left on the beach, separate from their bodies. And nobody went to jail for it because they knew better. It's a crime. It's murder. They're going to pay for it when they see God. But you knew that this is a radical country, and they're not having that. You know this. They run around in hijab for a reason. It's a biblical thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a belief. They do that because of their God. You don't just go and tell these people who have been living this way for thousands of years that you're just going to change it on your own without asking them. But no, you're just going to do it in their country? What? I wish I could talk to those girls before they did that. I wish I could have had them arrested for something, for stupidity. Officer, arrest these two girls for stupidity and keep them here in America while you do it, because you'll be saving their life. You let them go, you're going to see them on the news, and not in a good way. And that's exactly what happened. They saw them on the news, and not in a good way. Look, I don't believe women should run around with a piece of yarn up the crack of their ass and be walking around everywhere. I don't believe it at all. All these women run around like it's, scripture say women should dress modestly. I believe that every single one of them are in trouble. Now, some of them look damn good. I ain't going to say they don't look good. But I believe every single one of them are doing what God does not want them to do. You run around in a bikini and all that. God ain't never told you to do that. Instagram got everybody with their ass out because of Kim Kardashian. Nobody told you to follow that witch. You're going to follow her to where she's going. It's just a bad deal. Our women just, the more turned up and turned out they can be, the more attention they get. They doing it all for the gram, doing it all for money. They're going to all be in trouble when they die. The problem is, whatever the women do, the men follow because you want their attention. It's really crazy is the women aren't doing it for guys' attention. They're doing it for women's attention because women outnumber the men. They're like, so what if a guy looks at me? That's not important. But if my girlfriends look at me, that's important. Because they're going to, cheer me on. And they're going to be like, yeah, go ahead and do that. Show them your tits. Yeah, show them your tits. Yeah. You go right ahead. Like the one chick a month ago. She was showing off her tits. They have not a shirt on. And she was driving. Well, she was the passenger. She just wanted to be more Instagram famous. So this poor soul, leaned out the window, probably doing 50 miles an hour. Leaned out the window, extended her whole body out the window, and right into a pole. Took her head clean off. Yeah. She's having a very long or very short conversation with God right now. Yeah, there's a good chance it's probably over. Probably lasted about, I don't know. It's probably a very short conversation. Because God isn't for that. Shoot, God is not for that. I'll be doing stuff. I'll be like, Lord, I know you ain't for this. I need some help. It's one thing to know God doesn't want you to do and then ask God for help. And it's one thing to just blatantly do. I was just reading the scripture talking about how people are just doing stuff that God doesn't want them to do. And then I'll go ahead and read it. And then they had the nerve, for the one person that's still here, I don't know who's still, James Jones, I think you're still here. I don't know who it is, but it says somebody's still here. You read this. It says in the book of Romans, I'm just reading this today. They have become filled with every kind of wickedness, evil, greed, and depravity. They are full of envy, murder, strife, deceit, and malice. They are gossips, slanderers, God haters, insolent, arrogant, and boastful. They invent ways of doing evil. They disobey their parents. They have no understanding, no fidelity, no love, no mercy. Although they know God's righteous decree that those who do such things deserve death, they not only continue to do everything, but also approve of those who practice them. That was written thousands of years ago. The most hated country in the world because every Americans pollute other public. Yep. But I didn't. I've been in different countries. I didn't go over there with my beliefs and start telling people to believe in something. I didn't go over there and start destroying people's beliefs, telling them that they were wrong. If anyone asked me to pray with or for them, I'd be more than happy to do that. I minded my own business, As a man of God, you're supposed to be the light of the world. So I did, practice being a man of God very much. It's a lonely life when you're 19 years old and you're by yourself, pretty much, because everybody wants to go out and party. But I tell you what, I'll tell you a story that happened one time. So we lived in a concern, like a dorm room type of thing. So I had two other roommates, black and a white guy. Now, they like to go out and party, and they was wondering why I wouldn't go out and party anymore. I was just like, nah, because the Bible says come out from among them. So I came out from among them. I stopped partying, and I'd go to church 3 times a week. And I was okay with me. I loved it. I loved being with my church family, but I was very much alone. But we had this chick who was an E4. Her name was Pam. Pam was a black girl who wore her hair in like a wild, she was very loud. She was, we were all young. We were all like college students. But, the girls lived upstairs. The guys lived downstairs. Pam was, we all stayed in the same. So it was easy for the girls to come down and come right to our, we're all adults. It's like, you're going to have sex. You're going to have sex. It's just what happens. So, yeah, man, that's what's up, Biggs. So what happened was Pam would be very loud. You hear everywhere she went, but Pam worked for the GA. So, okay, all right, that's on you. I hope you ain't do it because of me. I tell people don't do that. But Pam worked for the GA, or I'm sorry, she worked for the AG, which is the Adjutant General, which is the general of the concern. She worked for the big boss. Point blank, he was a 2-star. So if you pissed Pam off, you said something to her, because she'd walk around with her hands in her pocket. This is when I was in the Army. She walked around with her hands in her pocket, her hair, whatever. She was loud. Okay, do your thing. And nobody said anything crazy to her because, I eventually figured out who she was. She was brilliant, but she was crazy and she was promiscuous. So what she did was she would just go around sleeping with people. And finally, she turned her attention to 2 of the guys that I worked with. And I was like, this is not good. This is not a good deal. So one of my roommates, and I used to pray for him all the time when they went out. I'd pray for him. But the other one lived right next door, and he was a hoe. He was a good-looking dude, so a lot of women wanted to get with him, and that was his life. That's what he was. So one day, they were over there pulling a train on her. They're running a train on her, and I was like, I just knew something was up. So I was moved, of course, by the Spirit, the Holy Ghost, to go over there and knock on their door. And I disturbed them as much as possible. And I just kept knocking on their door, like, answer the door. And they was like, you nosy. They eventually answered the door. I didn't stop what they was doing, but the vibe that I gave off stopped them from what they were doing. And they was like, you're nosy. And I was just like, whatever. And then I went back to my room, which was next door. I don't know if they, all that transpired, but all I knew is the Spirit told me to stop them. Well, about a week later, that same girl went off of the concern, which is our base. She went about 3 or 4 houses down. And when you go off our base, there was this little eatery that we go. When the mess hall closes, I was a cook. I worked for the mess hall. When the mess hall closes, there's nowhere to eat. But soldiers are still hungry in the middle of the night. So you went to this little eatery right outside of concern. And this little French guy worked in there. He spoke all kind of languages. But he'd be like, hey, he was like a young dude. Hey, good to see you. He would sell us foam starters and, hot dogs and stuff like that. We go in there, eat, talk to him, give him my Deutschmarks, and, go back up to the concern. Bada bing, bada boom. Well, he lived about 3 houses down. Well, Pam climbed through his window and cut him from ear to ear and climbed back out the window and came back up to the base. And when she came into our dorms, she looked at the CQ, who was pretty much there's always a guard on duty. She looked at the CQ and she went past the CQ and she went up into her room. And her roommate was this pretty but really ditzy blonde. She was like a ditzy chick. And she told her, I just killed somebody. Flat out, I'm not lying. Not lying at all. Well, her roommate became unditzy real quick, went back downstairs to the CQ and was like, My roommate just said she killed somebody. So they came upstairs and they arrested her. And the next day, everybody heard about it. They found the dude dead. That is a true story. And then the guys who told me that I was nosy came and thanked me. They was like, pal, we just want to thank you. I just looked at them and I was like, all right. I didn't really have a big sermon for them. I wasn't acting on my own. I just knew that God knew something was up in the future. And I knew that, I was being used as an instrument to go over there and knock on their door and stop them from whatever they were doing with this girl, because she was high as a kite. And that was her problem. The little French dude was a cocaine dealer. And she was a user. Something went down. She got caught, and the Germans wanted to keep her in Germany because she killed a German. But the Americans were like, she's a soldier. She's ours. So she, if they would have had her, they would have killed her. The Germans would have just killed her off. True story. Anyways, everybody's gone, so I'm going to go ahead and leave. But you guys, take it easy, man. God loves you.